C is a powerful general-purpose programming language. It can be used to develop software like operating systems, databases, compilers, and so on. C programming is an excellent language to learn to program for beginners. Character set. A character set is a set of alphabets, letters, and some special characters that are valid in C language. Uppercase, A, B, C to X, Y, Z. Lowercase, A, B, C to X, Y, Z. C accepts both lowercase and uppercase alphabets as variables and functions. Digits such as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Special characters, like @ hashtag, $, %, caret, and, asterisk, underscore, plus etc. White space characters. Blank space, new line, horizontal tab, carriage return, and form feed. C keywords. Keywords are predefined, reserved words used in programming that have special meanings to the compiler. Keywords are part of the syntax and they cannot be used as an identifier. For example, int money. Here, int is a keyword that indicates money is a variable of type int, integer. As C is a case-sensitive language, all keywords must be written in lowercase. Here is a list of all keywords allowed in ANSI C: auto, double, int, struct, break, else, long, switch, case, enum, register, typedef, char, extern, return, union, continue, for, signed, void, do, if, static, while, default, goto, size of, volatile, const, float, short, unsigned. All these keywords, their syntax, and application will be discussed in their respective topics. C identifiers. Identifier refers to name given to entities such as variables, functions, structures, etc. Identifiers must be unique. They are created to give a unique name to an entity to identify it during the execution of the program. For example, int money, double account balance. Here, money and account balance are identifiers. Also remember, identifier names must be different from keywords. You cannot use int as an identifier because int is a keyword. Rules for naming identifiers. A valid identifier can have letters, both uppercase and lowercase letters, digits, and underscores. The first letter of an identifier should be either a letter or an underscore. You cannot use keywords like int, while, etc. as identifiers. There is no rule on how long an identifier can be. However, you may run into problems in some compilers if the identifier is longer than 31 characters. You can choose any name as an identifier if you follow the above rule. However, give meaningful names to identifiers that make sense. See variables, constants, and literals. In this tutorial, you will learn about variables and rules for naming a variable. You will also learn about different literals in C programming and how to create constants. Variables. In programming, a variable is a container, storage area, to hold data. To indicate the storage area, each variable should be given a unique name, identifier. Variable names are just the symbolic representation of a memory location. For example, int player score equals 95. Here, player score is a variable of int type. Here, the variable is assigned an integer value 95. Rules for naming a variable. A variable name can only have letters, both uppercase and lowercase letters, digits, and underscore. The first letter of a variable should be either a letter or an underscore. There is no rule on how long a variable name, identifier, can be. However, you may run into problems in some compilers if the variable name is longer than 31 characters. Note, you should always try to give meaningful names to variables. For example, first name is a better variable name than fn. C is a strongly typed language. This means that the variable type cannot be changed once it is declared. For example,
int number equals 5, integer variable. Number equals 5.5, error. Double number, error. Here, the type of number variable is int. You cannot assign a floating point decimal value 5.5 to this variable. Also, you cannot redefine the data type of the variable to double. By the way, to store the decimal values in C, you need to declare its type to either double or float. Literals. Literals are data used for representing fixed values. They can be used directly in the code. For example, 1, 2.5, C, etc. Here, 1, 2.5 and C are literals. Why? You cannot assign different values to these terms. 1. Integers. An integer is a numeric literal associated with numbers without any fractional or exponential part. There are three types of integer literals in C programming: decimal, base 10, octal, base 8, hexadecimal, base 16. For example, decimal, 0, -9, 22, etc. Octal, 021, 077, 033, etc. Hexadecimal, 0x7f, 0x2a, hexadecimal 521, etc. In C programming, octal starts with a 0, and hexadecimal starts with a 0x.